is awaiting its postseason destination after finishing at 16-14 following the Big Ten tournament. The Boilermakers likely to receive a WNIT bid. We'll find out on Sunday night when and where Purdue will be playing. And again, the Boilermakers looking for more basketball after finishing up a very good first-year campaign under head coach Katie Gearlds. It is the Katie Gearlds Show. Welcome to Wolfie's, our final show of the season tonight. You can follow along on our Facebook page on Purdue Athletics site and send in your questions and also let us know where you're watching the show from. We will have the head coach with us. Cassidy Harden will be joining us a little bit later on in the program as well. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, and we'll be back after this. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Harden loves that three-point shot. That's why.
Arc a lot higher. I asked her how she became so confident shooting the ball. She said she just lets it fly and prays, but it's helped off to shooting more than 40% from
makers. Abby Ellis from deep. Beautiful. Hageman, what an acrobatic move, but it can't fall down, and Harden's running the other way. Another 4-on-2. Layden from deep. Harden with another deep shot. Layden, top of the key. That's a three, and it's good from Madison Layden, her third three of the day. Ellis driving. What a beautifully executed play.
And earlier, just watch this by Ellis, this quick curl, and then boom, like right here, you expect from a time.
Farquhar on Terry, making it tough. That's an open look for Abby Ellis. Drains a three-pointer, and Purdue takes the lead.
Oh, watch on the other end. You've got Abby Ellis wide open.
Abby Ellis again looking to the paint. Dishes out to Terry. Three ball is good for Janae. Spinning. Rebound to Abby Ellis. Harden for the lead. Bucket! No room for error as Brooke Moore brings it up. Janae Terry will happily take that shot, and that's why. Terry will inbound. Again, Parks trying to make it difficult. Abby Ellis will drive and get two with 5.9 on the clock, and Susie Merchant wants to talk things over.
Presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. Lots of postseason basketball running in here. Katie Gearlds, the month of March, if you're a basketball fan, is the best time of the year.
No better time. You're right, Tim.
Let's talk about the last three games because we haven't had a show for a couple of weeks. The Boilermakers played a road game to finish off their road portion of their season at Northwestern on February 24th and fell in that one 68-51. You don't have to look very far in the numbers to see where the problem was. 22 turnovers that night that led to 22 Northwestern points.
Yeah, they were really good defensively. We couldn't quite figure it out and had a couple opportunities. We had cut it to 6 and had an opportunity in transition to get mad at a back-to-back look at a 3, and we threw the ball out of bounds. It was a bad night for us.
That's one of those games, though. It's a 17-point game, but it really wasn't for most of the game. I mean, you mentioned early in the fourth quarter you're within 2 possessions and have a chance to cut it to 1 possession with the basketball.
Yeah, you've heard me glow and talk about Veronica Burton. I mean, that kid is
good.
She's really, really special, and on her senior day, she was even more special.
Then you came home for senior day to take on the Wisconsin Badgers, a 63-62 loss. And, you struggled in the second half at Madison, and unfortunately that struggle continued into the first quarter where you only scored 8 points. So you had to push the rock up the hill all day. You got it over the hump in the fourth quarter, but then they scored on their last possession to take the win.
Yeah, it was a tough night for, we wanted to see if we could get our seniors a home win. Dug too big of a hole second half. That 20 minutes of fight, actually, about the last 15 minutes, that fight that our team showed was really special and kind of, we'd been missing that fire a little bit. February was a tough month for us, and Wisconsin just made a play down the stretch that we did not make.
I thought that fight carried over then into your Big Ten tournament game on Thursday, a game that went back and forth and really went down to the last couple of seconds. You fell 73-69, but a game that early turnovers in that one, and then you got the turnovers fixed, but a lot of missed shots from in close. You had to look back at the film and say you got the shots that you wanted.
Yeah, when we did execute, when we didn't throw the ball to them, halftime kind of was like, guys, we're in the black uniforms today, quit throwing it to the white team. But we had 13 turnovers at halftime, 0 in the third quarter and 2 in the fourth quarter. So
right.
Much better in the second half. We just didn't make shots. And, man, we executed. We got some really good looks at the rim. They just did not go in. And give Michigan State credit. We're smaller out there, right? And Ricky and Ava get in foul trouble. Rowe came in and gave us some really good minutes. So we were small at times, and we battled on the boards for the most part. We did a good job keeping them off the glass, but the last 3 minutes, the ball bounced in their hands, and their kids made plays.
Yeah, they got 4 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter, and all 4 led to points. And you've really done, despite the fact that you've been undersized for most of the season, you've really done a pretty decent job staying at least even on the glass most games.
Yeah, there's been some games, right? At Maryland, we get pounded on the boards. We've given up, at Michigan State, we won the game. We gave up 18 offensive rebounds at their place. It's the makeup of our team, and we've been undersized and we've battled, and there's never been an excuse. Just put a body on somebody and find a way to go get the basketball. And for about 36 minutes, we did that. Unfortunately, the game is 40 minutes long.
It was a wild Big Ten tournament. Iowa wound up winning after they got a share of the regular season championship, but I thought the quality of basketball we saw in Indianapolis was pretty high all weekend.
Yeah, what a special time for our league. I actually went to the championship game yesterday, and the crowd there in Gainbridge was really, really special. Exciting time for our game, for our league. I think we've got an opportunity. You hope that Northwestern kind of sneaks in to get that 7th team into the league or into the tournament, but I think our top teams are ready to make some noise in the big dance.
And I thought a lot of teams showed up with their fans. It was hard. The Boilermakers got that 11:30 time slot on Thursday, which is a tough one to do. But we look forward, and I think it's going to be sooner rather than later that big Sunday crowd is coming to watch Purdue play for the Big Ten Tournament Championship.
I think it's going to be sooner rather than later too, Tim.
All right, we're going to have more of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union after this. This is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Head boy on the beat, so
yeah.
berserk.
Okay. Sometimes
Off to
you need a
Wolfie.
friend.
That's
Not the ones that leave you up in the window in. You know the ones that lend a hand and want to see you win. When you come up on that lick, make sure you cut them in. And then, sometimes you need a foe. Only keep your eyes open, you be on your toes. You know the ones that want to kill you when you in the boat. But I can't go. No, I can't go. And whoa,
Terry
shoot
for the
like you
win.
know. Pull up in the space coupe with the roof optional. Wonder why they follow suit. I've been cool from the beat. Came out of my mama Gucci. You built like that.
Beautiful night in West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue fans are here in big numbers getting ready for the season opener, and it's a conference game.
All right, let's say hello to the Rosses who are watching tonight from Remington. We've got Ira, who's been with us all season long from Wisconsin. Charles is in New York City. He has a question, but we're going to hold that because Cassidy Harden's going to come back on the show later on, and she can answer the question because it's about her. Sheila from Remington, congratulations on a great season. Can't wait for season 2 to begin. Well, we're still getting season 1 finished, but we also are looking forward to that. Peggy from St. Louis, and then Rhonda from Remington, and John from Littlestown, Pennsylvania. Well, let's ask a question that John has, a coaching question. What can you do in the offseason to coach players to value the basketball? It's always a big thing. Turnovers, we've seen it with the men's team. It's come back to haunt sometimes. You like your chances if you can run your offense and take care of the basketball. So, you know, is it a mental thing? What will you do in the offseason to try to address that?
Yeah, I think, well, you know, first of all, skill development, you know, always being able to tighten your handle, basic fundamentals, footwork in the post. You don't get called for travels, moving screens, but just tighten your handles, work on your passing skills. For us, really, I mean, we've been together for 5 months, so there are times in a game when, you know, my language is different than what they've been hearing. So I mean, even from the coaching staff, and that's not a crutch, but that's just reality for our basketball team, that, you know, there's not a pure comfortable, you know, a comfort zone for us 100%. And so I think sometimes that's where, you know, there's been a struggle with us where, you know, just the language or just not being comfortable with each other. I think that comes with time. We're going to have a spring together, a summer together, a fall together, in a whole nother year, and I just think that's going to continue to get better and better.
So what will happen this week, the Boilermakers will find out on Sunday. After the NCAA tournament pairings are done, which will be early on Sunday night, they will decide who will play in the NIT, and again, we're fully expecting that Purdue will be included in that field, and we'll find out if we're playing at home, playing on the road, what we're doing, and when that will be. Talk about the schedule, though, Katie, between now and then. How much practice will you put in this week?
Yeah, we, well, after our game on Thursday, you know, we got on the bus and came back home, gave him the weekend off. It was a really long February for us. And then you really look back at it, I don't know, when was it? Our senior day, we were at home on that Sunday, but we were on the road a lot of weekends in a row in January and February. So just give them some time off. We practiced today, and we'll practice tomorrow. We'll take Wednesday off, go Thursday, Friday, give them the weekend off, maybe have dinner on Sunday together and find out where we're going. You know, hopefully we do get an opportunity. I hope Mackey gets the bid and we get a chance to play in front of our home crowd again. But then, you know, hopefully we get a chance and play. You know, it's 16th, 17th, or 18th. You don't know until you know, and then we'll figure it out next week. Yeah,
and certainly the goal of this program going forward is to play in the NCAA tournament. But right now, any postseason experience can help you out. And again, I think the opportunity to play more basketball games and get into this one-and-done pressure situation, it can only help going down the road.
Yeah, that's the idea. You look back at what the WNIT has done for some programs here over the years. Indiana, Michigan, Arizona. Arizona got to host in 2019 with 14,000 people watching them win the WNIT. You know, I'm not saying that we're going to sit here and we're going to win the WNIT, but if we're going to be in it, we're going to give it everything we've got. You know, we talked to the group about, you know, we're jumping all in, and, you know, all came back to practice. They worked their tails off today. You know, we're just excited to be a part of something for Purdue. I think we've taken that first step of, you know, getting this place back to where it's supposed to be. We don't have a member on I know Brooke at Auburn, but not for Purdue. But Asia, Cass, Nog's this is her 4th year, and they've never played in a postseason tournament. And I didn't realize that until Asia said that to me today. And it's just, you know, we've got to get back to making sure Purdue, this is never even a question.
Yeah, and it's something I think we took for granted. And you know, the Big Ten has changed. Big Ten has changed in the 30-plus years I've been doing this. It's been changed, and it's really changed since you were in here. You know, you used to have 4 or 5 teams in the league that as long as the bus didn't get a flat tire on the way, you were going to have a pretty easy night. That's not the case anymore.
No, it's not. And, you know, I so many times we were on the road this year, and, you know, Abby would always ask me, you know, how many did you drop here? Well, you know, you just knew we were going to win. You knew we were going to get off the bus and win the game. And, you know, the biggest thing I'm proud about this team is, you know, we started to change the expectation, I think, in the last seasons or two. You know, especially last year, you only winning 7 games, and then it's a COVID year, but like people just knew that you were going to win when Purdue showed up. But we became a team that was really hard to beat, and the expectation started to change around our program that, you know, you started to just expect us to win. And while it didn't go our way down the stretch, that's probably the biggest thing I'm going to take away from this year.
3 of your players received postseason honors. Janae Terry, Abby Ellis, and Madison Layden were all named honorable mention All Big Ten, and they were a big part in getting you to those 16 wins this year.
Yeah, and all 3 were really special against Michigan State. I thought all 3 had really big games. All different, you know, different type of players, but I like having those 3 on our team.
And they're going to be back next year. That's the best part.
Amen.
All right, we'll have more in 2 minutes. It's the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Come on, man. When we out here, we got to compete. When we get into that regular season, it's going to be real. We got to win them games. Let's go. There you go. Family on me, family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Family. Working on techniques and fundamentals and how to play fast is great. We want to do that. Then you got to carry it over to the team session. And any session we have that has 11 guys at 11, it has to be a game rep for you. And you got to put pressure on yourself to perform at game speed as a game rep. Then you got to study it afterwards. Then you got to study with your coach, and you got to look at it yourself. That's how you get better. Not just coming out here and practice and forgetting about the play and the practice and moving on. No, you got to study with your coaches and study on your own to improve and get better. But you can be as good as you want to be if you want to put in the time and the effort.
Bush, slide to Colvin, bounce down. Population Raven, Colvin. Huge block out of the middle by Colvin. Rousey, and that's blocked again. Raven Colvin is there with the block.
Really good out-of-system block from the freshman going up.
First Big Ten match for Raven Colvin, no problem.
Colvin sends it away. Raven Colvin.
Great read by the freshman, great vision.
There she is again, Raven Colvin.
And look at that awareness from Raven Colvin at the net to get the point for the Boilermakers.
Run that middle with some authority. Raven Colvin coming up big.
Raven Colvin, get out of the way.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. Speaking of Wolfie's, this is the 42nd Coaches Show we've done now since Labor Day weekend. We had 14 shows with Coach Brom, 14 with Coach Painter, 14 with Coach Gearlds. I want to thank the staff here at Wolfie's for all of their work and all their help. And again, it's a great place to watch March Madness. Those of you who are watching on Facebook, we want to thank Corey Palm and Hunter Massengill for making that possible. And I want to give Corey a quick plug here. He's got a book that's been written called Perfect Warriors. It's the story of the 1943 Purdue football team. It is a great read. I highly suggest it. You're going to learn a lot, not just about Purdue football, but about Purdue University in general. So you can get that book on Amazon. And I got no proceeds from that plug. That was just a totally free plug.
We need to talk to your people.
Well, my agent's been gone a long time now. Let's talk a little bit about the future, because we got basketball yet to play in the 2022 season, but you've also got 3 recruits that are signed right now for next year. You're hoping to add to that, but let's start right here in the state of Indiana with Lily Stoddard from Crown Point.
Yeah, Lily's got great length, good, a great motor, comes from a winning high school program, won a lot of games in high school. Fell a little short this year, but that was unfortunate for them, but great length, great shot blocker, like a gazelle, can get out and run the floor for us.
You go across the pond to get a player, Anoa Holzer from Switzerland, her first Swiss Miss in the program. What can you tell us about her?
She's a basketball junkie. You talk to that kid, and she just loves hoops. For me, I haven't seen her play other than on film or some highlights, but this kid loves basketball, and her to listen to her dissect one of our games or talk to her before one of our games, she's just got a motor about her. I'm excited to get her over here this summer.
And you got a player down in Florida, Addison Potts, that has turned a lot of hits, and she's gotten a lot of postseason recognition.
Yeah, she's, you kind of look at Grace Berger, that kind of player, kind of someone who can score from 3 levels. She's got a big, strong body, probably actually really college ready in terms of just her body. Can get to the rim, is a great passer. We scored 2,500 points in high school, over 1,000 rebounds, over 500 assists. You got to be pretty special if you're putting those numbers up in a 32-minute game.
You're looking to add possibly to that class. We can't talk about anybody who has not signed, but I think it's safe to say that you are getting well positioned right now in building the talent base of this program back to where you want it to be.
I would say that we are headed in the right direction.
What are you hearing when you go out now to recruits? Because when you came in, your first couple of weeks, you're out recruiting, but they don't really know what Katie Gearlds is about as a head coach. What are you hearing now when you go in and talk to players?
Oh, just that we play a brand that's exciting. Our kids now have done a good job of talking about how it is to play for me. There's some old school in me, but I'm a player's coach, and what that means, I'm going to hold you accountable, right? We're going to work really hard, we're going to do all those things, but we just play a brand. We're going to get up and down the floor. Look, we didn't even have time to put a zone defense in this year. That's because we're trying to do so much in a short amount of time. Maybe we sacrifice some things, maybe we go zone against Wisconsin, maybe we win the game, but that's just not me. You can probably talk to Coach Payne too. I'm going to play man-to-man, so I'm going to, we didn't want to sacrifice anything for the long term of our program, and our kids have bought into it, and I think that sees, I think you see smiles on our face when we're playing. I don't think I've ever ran on the floor so fast when Jayla got her shot block at the end of the first quarter. Just going to pick her up, just have fun with the kids. It's a blast. I have the time of my life on a sideline, and I've got a great group of young women to coach.
And you look back at some of those wins, and you look at that, particularly that Georgia Tech win, which as the season went along looked like a bigger and bigger victory. That's an NCAA tournament team, and they've been ranked in the top 25.
Yeah, that was a big win for us. Florida State's probably looking to get in the tournament. We beat them after scoring 0 points in the second quarter. But
tried something new.
Yeah, we did. We just wanted to break.
That's a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off for you.
Kind of records, but no, we that's 2 good ACC teams we were able to knock off. The Michigan State win on the road was a big win for our program. And honestly, we didn't. I know some of our scores are bad at the end of games because they're 15, but we were right there. We really were, and that's just a testament of our team and the character of the individuals on our basketball team. But just can't imagine what it's going to be like the longer we are together.
All right, we're going to talk with one of those high-character individuals next. Cassidy Harden will join us on the show. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
George Garland, Purdue.
Take the top, you said give me 3 good.
Yep. There you go.
Easy money.
There you go. Lock out. There you go. Right there. Right there. That's it. Good.
Let's go, George. Easy money. Let's go, George.
Keep that going. Let's go.
Yeah, George. Yeah, George. Easy. Yeah, George.
Yes, sir. Work. Get him in that hole. Come on.
One time, George. One time.
I got you back. Let's go. Get it up.
David Bell, what a good kid.
Oh, local kid.
They like him.
Here we go.
They know him. Here's David Bell.
This kid can really track the ball down the field.
Have a passion for the game of basketball and have a passion for the person fighting next to you. Have a passion for your teammates. Have fun. not everybody gets an opportunity to play college basketball. There's a time in our lives when this little girl picked up a basketball and fell in love with the game. You know, find that joy. There's so many things that happen in our world that are ugly that we need to put all that aside and understand we get a chance to play college basketball. Like, how cool is that? And that's it, right? Like, just having a joy, like to play the game for that little girl who fell in love with basketball a long, long time ago.
Welcome back to Wolfies. It's time for the Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler made. We've been tracking some of our players overseas all season. We'll give you a final recap on them. Sam Osterello is playing for a team in Italy, did not play in her team's last game. The team is still playing this season. They are 12-7 on the year. Sam has played sparingly, averaging about 3 or 4 points a game. KK Hauser has played a lot for her team in Poland. In their last game, which they lost 86-66, she had 29 points and 3 rebounds. Unfortunately, her team has lost 6 in a row. They finished 3-17. They did not qualify for the playoffs, so it looks like her season is done. Aya Traore's team picked up a 64-61 win in Spain. She had 10 points and 5 rebounds, so they are 10-9, and they are still in their regular season. The best season of all, though, has been put in by Andriana Keys, who's playing in Romania. Her team lost for only the second time all season. They fell 82-63 their last time out. She had 18 points and 4 assists. They are 19-2 right now and battling for first place, and she's averaging 19.7 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. So Keys is having a big season in Romania. So it's been nice to track all those Boilermakers who are going elsewhere. We're talking now with Cassidy Harden, and Cassidy, they taught us in journalism school that if you want to find out what's going to happen, you'd go straight to the source. So we had a question here: is Cassidy Harden going to defer her graduate school and come back for another year? What can you tell us about that?
My plan is, yes, to defer my medical school acceptance, but I'm still waiting to hear from a few others to see if I'm accepted, so that's why I haven't done an official announcement
So
yet.
It's not official, but we can kind of expect to see number 5 back next season.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, that's great, and I think the fans are happy about that, too. Cassidy had a tremendous first senior season this year. 76 three-pointers so far and still counting. Right now, that is 4th on the single-season list. Your coach and Carissa McLaughlin are tied at 88 three-pointers apiece. Courtney Moses-Delks next at 80, and then you had 76. And again, we hope maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 more games. You can pile up those three-pointers.
Yeah, hopefully I can get a few more up there.
Tell me about this season, because I think one of the things I'm always going to remember about this year is watching Cassidy Harden at, 5'10" we list yet?
Yeah,
Trying
hopefully.
to guard 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" players in the post and never once backing down all season. What has that experience been like?
It's definitely been tough. She, asked a lot of me, and obviously it was a challenge, and I knew that I wanted to do the best that I could. And I know I'm undersized, so I know I have to make up for it in another way. And I think I do that by being really physical. And a lot of the times they don't like me pushing on them or, making their lives a little difficult in there. So I feel like I've, been able to be successful just because I'm giving them different, pressure that, other posts don't have to, because they're the same height.
I know you have to lead this team in charges taken. You probably are among the Big Ten leaders in that category, and I think part of that is courage and part of that is smarts. How would you define those two? Because you got to step in against some pretty big players who are barreling down on you.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that I've learned over the years because of my height, is being only 5'10". I know I'm not going to block many shots, and so I figured it's easier just to get an offensive foul drawn. And my senior year of high school, my high school coach had us practice that at practice, and I liked it. So I've just carried it on here, and it's probably one of my favorite things to do on the court.
So you're saying in terms of charge, it is better to receive than to give.
Yeah.
There you go. Talk about your offensive production this year, because, again, the three-pointers have come, but we've seen Cassidy Harden put the ball on the floor a little bit more than we have in the past.
Yeah, I, was trying to do a little bit more without doing too much. Hopefully, obviously, with more time with Coach Gearlds and stuff, maybe I can, expand my game even more to, where I can add in, jump shots and just kind of give other teams a different look, because obviously they know that my main job out there is to shoot threes, and I think that I definitely can hopefully expand my game for next year and be more of a help to the team.
You have played in the Big Ten tournament, but you've not played in an NCAA tournament or WNIT game before. What's your thoughts as you get ready for what looks like it'll be your first postseason competition?
I'm excited. That's why I wanted to come here. I wanted to be able to play in the postseason, and I obviously haven't been able to do that yet. And NCAA is the goal, and obviously that's what I want to get next year. But this year, the NIT, we're going to approach it the same way and, hopefully make some noise.
All right, we're at the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. More with Cassidy Harden after this break. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Harden loves that three-point shot. That's why.
Arc a lot higher. I asked her how she became so confident shooting the ball. She said she just lets it fly and prays, but it's helped off to shooting more than 40% from
makers. Abby Ellis from deep. Beautiful. Hageman, what an acrobatic move, but it can't fall down, and Harden's running the other way. Another 4-on-2. Layden from deep. Harden with another deep shot. Layden, top of the key. That's a three, and it's good from Madison Layden, her third three of the day. Ellis driving. What a beautifully executed play.
And earlier, just watch this by Ellis, this quick curl, and then boom, like right here, you expect from a time.
Farquhar on Terry, making it tough. That's an open look for Abby Ellis. Drains a three-pointer, and Purdue takes the lead.
Oh, watch on the other end. You've got Abby Ellis wide open.
Abby Ellis again looking to the paint. Dishes out to Terry. Three ball is good for Janae. Spinning. Rebound to Abby Ellis. Harden for the lead. Bucket! No room for error as Brooke Moore brings it up. Janae Terry will happily take that shot, and that's why. Terry will inbound. Again, Parks trying to make it difficult. Abby Ellis will drive and get two with 5.9 on the clock, and Susie Merchant wants to talk things over.
Everybody on the week.
By Purdue Federal Credit Union, we're live at Wolfie's Grill with the largest view of the game outside of Mackey Arena. I want to thank everybody involved with the program, and again, the folks at Learfield, Mark Walpole and his staff, for all the support they've given us. Ian McDougall, who gives us all the great information that we use every week, and we're looking forward again to a long postseason run. During that break, we were watching on Facebook some of the highlights of the Michigan State game and watched your three-pointer that puts you ahead. Janae Terry, the great thing about sports and basketball is you just never know what you're going to see. Janae Terry was 1 for 16 from three-point range all season long, and then Thursday she hits 2 out of 3 shots from long distance. How do you figure?
When she hit those two, I think I screamed the loudest on the court. That was amazing, and she knew what we needed in that moment, and she delivered like she does.
I tell you, she's only got 73 more to catch you this year. She's still got some games to play. We're going to talk to the coach after this segment and talk kind of a recap of the season. But from your standpoint, you went through a coaching change after a difficult season last year. That the COVID season was difficult on everybody. How would you summarize these last few months?
I think there's a lot to be proud of with what we did this year, and Coach has said it before, we created expectations for this team that, people might not have had before the season, and I think that there was a lot that we accomplished, and obviously with more time with Coach Gearlds, we can be even better, and so I think just taking away all that we, did accomplish, yes, we fell short of the NCAA tournament, but I think there's a lot of good things that we can build on, and be even more successful next year.
We know, Cassidy, that great basketball players are made over the summer. What are some of the things that you'll be working on as you get ready for your super senior season?
Personally, I'm going to try to expand my game more into the, mid-range and just to get a different look out there. And so, shot fake, one dribble. I'm also going to work on my foot speed. I think that'll really help out there. Because, who knows if I'm still going to be guarding posts. I might have to guard some guards again.
There you go.
Which, I haven't done in a while. So.
Let's talk. We had you on, I think, the first show of the season, or one of the first shows of the season. You're a biochemistry major. You're going to get your undergraduate degree in May. Mm-hmm. Headed to medical school. What are your thoughts there about what you want to do eventually with medical school?
Right now I'm thinking anesthesiology, but once I go through medical school, I very well could fall in love with a different specialty, and who knows what I'll end up doing. Maybe I'll be a surgeon. I don't know.
What drove you into medicine? Was that something you had it planned before you came here, or is it something that just kind of cropped up?
My dad is an orthopedic surgeon, so I kind of grew up in the medical environment, talking to him every day, and it was always really fascinating to me. And so then once I got old enough, he let me shadow him in the OR, and kind of took off from there, catered all my courses to, anatomy and medical terminology through middle school, high school, and then I knew before I, went to college that I wanted to go to medical school, and I've made sure to do everything I can to make that happen.
So has he put a scalpel in your hand, and have you tried it on any fruit or anything to see just how it feels for you?
Not that. I have learned to suture on a banana, so sort of close.
See, there you go. So you're already taking that first step. I asked you about this year, but can you summarize your 4 years here and the decision you made to come to Purdue and how that has hopefully been the best decision so far in your life?
I feel like I would summarize my years here as kind of a roller coaster. There's a lot that happened with coaching changes and players transferring and just different things that happened throughout the year that didn't necessarily expect to happen, and not all negative, positive too. Just friendships that I made that I didn't. Asia Stallings is someone I played against in high school, and we weren't friends because we were against each other. But now she's one of my best friends. So just things like that I didn't necessarily expect, but I couldn't be happier with coming to Purdue, and I definitely wouldn't change my decision.
Well, one of the things that I know has made me the proudest of being around this program for 30 plus years is to see what happens once the players take their jerseys off and go into civilian life. And I know that we're going to be hearing a lot about Dr. Harden before too long. Great to have you back this year for another year, and best of luck in the WNIT.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have the head coach back with us. It's the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. This is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Head boy on the beat, so
Yeah.
gotta go berserk.
Okay. Sometimes
Off to
you need a
Wolfie.
friend.
That's
Not
a
the ones that leave you up and up with nothing in. You know the ones that lend their hand and want to see you win. When you come up on that lick, make sure you cut 'em in. And then, sometimes you need a fold. Wanna keep your eyes open, keep you on your toes. You know the ones that wanna keep you when you've been before. But I can't go. No, I can't go. And whoa,
Terry
shoot
for the
like you
win.
know. Pull up in the space coupe with the roof optional. Wonder why they follow suit. I've been cool when the boom came out of my mama. Thought you built like that.
Beautiful night in West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue fans are here in big numbers getting ready for the season opener, and it's a conference game.
All right, the Boilermakers waiting their postseason destination. They have played in the WNIT 3 times. Technically, they played once in the NWIT back in 1988, and then they changed the name of that. So Purdue got to the finals back in 1988 in that tournament in Amarillo, Texas, where the finals were held. In the second round, the Boilermakers played 2 games at home, won the first, lost the second. And then in 2018, Purdue wound up playing 3 games on the road, beat IUPUI on the road, won at Ball State, and then lost at Indiana in the third round. So overall 5-3, and again hoping for a bid and a deep run. And you know, you can get a lot out of postseason play, and I think the first thing is just like being down in Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament. If you haven't done it before, you need to go through that experience to really understand what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's win or go home, and even more magnified now. Obviously, with the Big Ten tournament, we thought we would have another opportunity, but now it's literally win or your season is over.
It's always hard to do this, I wouldn't say a post-mortem, but a look back because you're still in the middle of it. But we're toward the end of the season. As you look back on this season, what are you the proudest of with this unit that you've worked with this year?
You know, I just think of everything that they've overcame in the last, not just the last 5 months, but really the last couple of years. You know, last year they play in the middle of a pandemic. They don't sleep together on the road. They don't share rooms. They've got to get COVID tested every morning. And then, you know, the summer happens. I come on, not a great summer. And then, you know, in September, Coach decides to retire. And here it is, right? Like, I guess, like, the opportunity that we afforded each other by coming together when we easily could have all gone our different ways. He had a group that really bought into me, you know, and the staff did a great job of buying into me and, you know, just helping me believe in myself. But this group, they were fun. You know, we had a blast in practice. We worked hard. We played hard. And it wasn't always pretty. You know, 14 losses is not fun at all, but somehow we found a way to win 9 more games than we did last year.
Yeah, I asked Cassidy what her game, what she needs to improve on the offseason. Let's talk generally. As you look at this team going to 2022-23, what are the things it needs to do to get better?
Yeah, we got to have some time together. I mean, I think that's first and foremost. You know, I think we've made some strides in the right direction, but an opportunity to maybe put in a zone defense just in case, you know, we want to throw some junk at somebody. You know, getting understand a little bit more. The more I'm around them, the more you know, where does Madison want the ball? Where can we put Janae? You know, getting healthy, I think, is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we did all of this, and then, you know, Shea only plays nine games on the year, but I think getting healthy, getting everybody just kind of back in at 100%, ready to go. We got a long way to go. Obviously, sitting and watching Iowa and Indiana, we got a long way to go, but we've got a group committed to getting Purdue back. And that's all you can ask for right now.
And as I talked to Cassidy, great players are made during the summertime. You've got to put in the work in the summer to shore up the things that you need help on. And then it's also up to each of them to push each other and to try to get to the point where when they come back in the fall, they're ready to go and ready to hit a new season.
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the things we've done this year is we've really tried to create a healthy environment where they do want to get in the gym and work with each other, work with us to get better as individuals. But you're right, like, the summer is the time that you've got to be able to just make everything better. You know, your handle's tighter. You know, we talk about her, you know, shooting jump shots off the move, getting to the rim, getting quicker, stronger, faster. Those are the things you do in the summer. So, you know, we'll have the opportunity.
All right, we'll have the final segment of the season of the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. Right after this, this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Come on, man. When we out here, we got to compete. When we get into that regular season, it's going to be real. We got to win them games. Let's go.
There you go.
Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family. Working on techniques and fundamentals and how to play fast is great. We want to do that. Then you got to carry it over to the team session. And any session we have that has 11 guys at 11, it has to be a game rep for you. And you got to put pressure on yourself to perform at game speed as a game rep. and you got to study it afterwards, then you got to study with your coach, and you got to look at it yourself. That's how you get better. Not just coming out here and practice and forgetting about the play and the practice and moving on. No, you got to study with your coaches and study on your own to improve and get better. But you can be as good as you want to be if you want to put in the time and the effort.
Bush, slide to Colvin, bounce down. Population Ravens, Colvin. Huge block out of the middle by Colvin. Rousey, and that's blocked again. Raven Colvin is there with the block.
Really good out-of-system block from the freshman going up.
First Big Ten match for Raven Colvin, no problem.
Colvin sends it away. Raven Colvin.
Great read by the freshman, great vision.
There she is again, Raven Colvin.
And look at that awareness from Raven Colvin at the net to get the point for the Boilermakers.
Run that middle with some authority. Raven Colvin coming up big.
Raven Colvin, get out of the way.
This week's game plan is presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, home of the official credit union for Purdue fans. Learn more at purduefed.com. Again, the WNIT draw will be late Sunday night, probably around 9 or 10 o'clock, so we should know, hopefully before we hit the sack on Sunday, who and where we would be playing in the tournament. Hoping to be at Mackey Arena, to at least to start things out. I don't know if at this point it's probably too early to start looking at potential teams because you're looking at who's on the NCAA bubble. I think we know for sure 6 teams in the Big Ten are going to get to the NCAA tournament. I think really the only bubble team there is Northwestern.
Yeah, I would say that those 6 are in, right? That's fair statement. I hope Veronica Burton gets a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. She deserves the opportunity.
If she doesn't, I'm sure Northwestern would probably take a WNIT bid. Michigan State has already said they're not going to take a WNIT bid because they've had some injuries here late in the season. So it could be Northwestern and Purdue, or it could just be Purdue. But either way, you're going to carry the flag, and a chance to extend the season and a chance to play more basketball. And when you're playing in March, that's all you ask for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we would, the hope and the dream is to get us back in the NCAA tournament. Would never have this bubble question in our minds. But this is where we are. And if you would have told me in September that we'd have 16 wins and we'd be knocking on the WNIT's door, then I probably would have taken it. So we're going to take it, and our group has bought into what we can do. What winning a WNIT has done to some programs to kind of elevate them and take them to the next level. For us, it's that, like, we're going to go out there and we're going to give it everything we have.
Well, I can tell you after year one of the Katie Gearlds era here at Purdue is almost over, it has been a great joy, I think, for the fans to come back to Mackey Arena and to see a basketball team have fun and play hard and work together. And I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg so far. So congratulations on what you've done in season 1. Now, you know that you just have to build upon that seasons 2 through whatever.
It's just the beginning, Tim. That's a promise.
Well, it's been great working with you this year. I have enjoyed it, other than the Bills and Chiefs debacles that we've had. But it's been tremendous. And again, I hope we have the opportunity to talk about 6 more times after a basketball game, and all of them being wins.
I would love nothing more than that. So
all right.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you.
All right. Again, the Boilermakers will be playing, we believe, starting sometime next week in the WNIT. We'll find out on Sunday night. Those first-round games will be played, I believe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are the dates that they can be played, and then the second round would be the following 3 days. So just stay tuned here. You can hear all the games on Bob FM no matter where they are, and we appreciate all of the fans who've been listening all season and also watching on Facebook. Thanks to our engineer, Wes Scott, and our producer, Roger Forsyth, for Cassidy Harden, for Coach Gearlds, for everybody here at Wolfie's. It's been a great season. We look forward to more March Madness. This is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.